Rogue Empire is a roguelike RPG that's a lot of fun to play. It's deceptively easy at first but ridiculously hard later on, just how roguelikes should be. Special thanks to the developer for giving me a review key. Rogue Empire offers 3 game modes: a tutorial for beginners, the main story for seasoned players, and an infinite dungeon mode for the diehard roguelike fans. Let's discuss these 3 modes in detail. The first game mode puts you in the shoes of Eghoss, a human warrior looking for the Orb of Fate after his party has been vanquished by the enemy. The game mode functions as a tutorial, albeit a rather extensive one, where you start off with a pre-made character. This is one of the few games where I wasn't able to finish the tutorial at first, on normal difficulty with permadeath that is. The point however of a tutorial is not that you finish it, but that you learn how to play the game, and in that regard it does a fine job. You see, for example, how the turn-based aspect of this game works. Immediately after you take a turn, also the enemies take one turn. Your energy determines how many actions you can do per turn, and different weapons have different energy requirements to use them. Other abilities are measured in turns, such as using bandages. It takes around 6 turns, which is not an issue if there's no one around. Should you use a bandage in the middle of a battle, however, the enemies use those 6 turns to start bashing in on you, largely negating the effect of the bandage in the first place. Maybe, just maybe, they flat out kill you because they outdamage the healing. You will also learn about the other game mechanics, like the hunger system. As turns progress, you need food. It can be found anywhere, but you need to manage it or face the debuffs of being starved. You'll learn all about different types of enemies, their mobility, their strengths and weaknesses, and the best ways to defeat them. You will learn that waiting a turn in place grants you an attack bonus, and waiting another turn in place grants you an even bigger attack bonus. This opens up new tactics to defeat enemies, waiting for them to face you, gaining buffs along the way, and then unleash devastating damage to kill them. You'll learn this game is a brutally hard game, even on normal difficulty. One misstep and you're dead. One unlocked golden door revealing a small army behind it, and you're dead if you haven't prepared up front by using some potions. One boss fight where you're unaware of the tactics, and you're dead as well. You'll learn that RNG plays a major role in this game. Every time you level up you can increase your stats, but which ones you get to pick is RNG. Every few levels you get to choose a new active or passive ability from 3 cards, a clever system that's inspired by trading card games like Slay the Spire or Hearthstone. You'll learn that the UI and menus can be a tad overwhelming at first, but once you figure out what all the stats indicate, it's really not that hard to navigate. The only thing I didn't like is that you need to go to the character screen to see your hunger level. It would have been nice if that's more easily accessible in the main UI. The other menus are intuitive enough, with the map being a vital one that is toggled using a hotkey. You'll learn that items have different uses. There's cloth, leather and heavy armor. There are spellbooks, all kinds of weapons, both melee and ranged, and a variety of consumables. All of these drop after defeating enemies, or you can buy them from a merchant. Weight and inventory management is important as well. The second game mode is the main storyline game. A whole new world opens up, including a world map to traverse, random events, other NPCs and much more exploration to do. New features kick off from the start, because in the game mode you're able to choose a class and race. There's your standard RPG races like humans, dwarves and elves, with their standard corresponding perks, but there are also a few more original playable races, such as the Naga that do high critical damage, the plant-like Otwok who hardly ever go hungry and resist piercing damage, or the cat-like Vincian with their high speed and agility, making them perfect for quick kills. After choosing a race, there's 5 classes to choose from. There's the armor-plated weapon-wielding warrior, the agile hunter that specializes in many different shooting abilities, the assassin that uses stealth and poison, the mage with powerful spells, and the shape-shifting druid that uses animal forms and spells to survive. All of these classes play very differently. They come with various skills, but also their base stats, the abilities they can choose, and the playstyle is distinct. Where the warrior is quite easy and simple to understand, the druid has a lot of mechanics to take into account, such as shapeshifting, achievements and mana, making it a lot harder to play. During your travels you develop your character, and here the RNG plays a big role, although RNG is pretty standard in roguelikes. It does determine how successful your run is going to be. If you get access to a skill that does massive damage, or you get a few favorable choices in terms of stats when you level up, you're at a significant advantage. Should that not happen, you can have a pretty tough time building your character. There's also this constant question that keeps popping up because of RNG. Do I explore a little bit more to increase my level and gain some more abilities? Or do I leave this dangerous floor and just continue on my quest, knowing that I at least won't die on this floor? It's the hallmark of a good indie roguelike game if you ask me, and Rogue Empire constantly puts you in this spot. In case you do die, which happens a lot, you keep the souls from fallen enemies, which you can use to buy upgrades. This way you'll get stronger over time, increasing your chances of actually beating the game. This is what all roguelikes are about and what gives these games, if done right, incredible replay value. That brings us to the third game mode, Infinite Dungeon Mode, which is, well, infinite. It cannot be beat but offers the biggest challenge, which is to delve as deep into the dungeons as you can, trying to beat other people's high scores. Dungeon levels get increasingly harder the further you go, making this mode suitable for those who are really experienced with the genre overall and this game in particular. Apart from modes, there's a few other things worth mentioning. There's some interesting and mostly well suited music with fantasy and rock tracks, some of which only play during boss battles. Saving and exiting can be done at any time in the game, so it's easy to jump in and out. I also had 2 game crashes, although this was only on game loading, so no progression was lost. Apart from those, the game ran very well, which is to be expected with these graphics. I had a lot of fun reviewing Rogue Empire, to be honest. The sheer variety, difficulty of the game, the many game modes, it's a lot of value for a game that's really not very expensive. For fans of the roguelike genre, this is definitely worth a buy. You'll get tons of gameplay out of it, it's quite addictive and the runs can be done rather quickly after you know what you're doing. Subscribe for more reviews, I hope you enjoyed this one and got something out of it. If you have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be happy to answer. See you soon, bye bye.